Hello everyone. In this video, I'll show you how to build an engine component like a piston, connecting rod, and crankshaft. First, I will make the connecting rod. Draw both piston and crank pin rings, 34mm inner and 50 outer piston pin, 68mm inner and 80mm outer crank pin. Use dimension tools to lock the diameter. Change center to center pin to 200mm. Tangent line from both inner piston pin to inner crank pin.
You asked me how we got here, 'cause you don't
Draw 4 3-point circle between pin and rod.
You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries as we'll find out. Let's take it slow, where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow, who cares where we gotta be.
Change diameter 90mm. Trim some lines.
Now the surfaces is ready.
Choose both side extrude. Pull piston pin 30mm, rod 12mm, and crank pin 20mm.
And we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody alright.
Make a plane from center to center pin. Sketch on the plane.
Make a 90mm circle using 3-point circle at the outer of the pins to the rod on both sides. Make a line right in the middle of the rod to use it as a mirror. Don't forget to draw some lines on the bottom of circle. Trim some lines. The surfaces is now ready. Use both side pull tool longer than the side of the rod without merging any bodies. Split the connecting rod. Select some faces on the edge of the rings and pull. After pulling some faces, all of the body will be merged. Split the connecting rod one more time on the side of the rod. Split another bodies that has been created by splinting connecting rod on both sides. Select all bodies and combine. The connecting rod is done. Move to the second part. We're making the crankshaft. Make the crank pin diameter, outer and inner circle. Draw a line 45mm as a crank radius. Make another circle on the edge of the line to bottom side of crank pin outer. Cut the crank web circle half. Connect crank web circle and crank pin. Pull the crank web 30mm. Select some edges and use pull to make a fillet. Draw a crank pin sketch on the crank web face and pull. Draw another sketch on the crank web face for main journal 75 mm. Use mirror tools. Choose the face of crank pin as a mirror. Select the entire body. Crankshaft is ready. Move to the third part, piston. To make a piston, first I'll draw the side body like on the section AA. I can revolve the surface of drawing on the axis line in the center of piston. Follow the dimensions as written in the drawing. To make the top curve, I use 3-point arc from the edge's bottom line and top axis line. Copy the curve, move to left 6 mm. Next, I make the piston ring with diameter of 104 mm. Draw axis line right in the center of piston pin. End the sketch and revolve surface on the center axis line. Now I'll make a hole for the piston pin. Make a plane right on the edge of piston pin axis. Don't forget to combine all bodies. The surface is ready to pull. Select Add before pulling. Pull 35 mm to the center of the piston. Use Split Body tool to make a hole and to remove unwanted body. Next, make another plane on the edge on piston pin axis right on the center of piston. Use Split Body tool again and cut the piston in half. Next, use Mirror tool to make it full. The piston is done now. For the last parts is gudgeon pin and connecting rod bush. Inner bush with the diameter of 26 mm inner, 34 mm outer, and 30 mm height. Gudgeon pin with diameter of 15 mm inner, 26 mm outer, and 88 mm height. Now we enter the final part of the video, assembly. The steps for combining the parts are very easy. You only need to use the Align, Measure, and Move tools. Although easy, you must be careful when combining all the parts. Make sure none of the parts overlaps each other, as you won't be able to use them for further processing. All the parts are connected. Now you can rotate the crankshaft and all the parts will move with it. That's all for this video on how to draw and combine parts of a piston system. Thank you for your attention. See you in the next video.